What is going on, Birdland? Stephen Heckman here with the Final Strike podcast brought to you by the Baltimore Battery. Coming into a new week where things look like they possibly could be turning around. Not that it's been a great week, but it has not been a bad week. We did have a 3-game winning streak recently. Unfortunately, we are only 4-6 in our last 10, but that's better than we had been playing, so not too much to be upset about there. Of course, today we did add John Mabry as special advisor to the team. If anybody remembers Mabry, he actually played in the majors, had a 13-season career with a 263 batting average, 727 OPS. Was not a regular player, was a more of a utility rotational outfielder. DH, pretty decent ball player though. He's gritty. He comes from the old school baseball where you basically can attack an at bat and prolong it until you find the pitch you need. So I think it's going to be a benefit to our team. Our pitching coaches right now just aren't doing anything to help our team's offense improve, especially with runners in scoring position, capitalizing in those moments and with runners on base. I mean, I'm sorry, our team needs to know how to bunt, and I think maybe 2-3 people on the team could bunt. That's a big concern because players like Jorge Mateo should be bunting once a game, getting on base. With his speed, there's no reason he can't drop a bunt and get on base. And I did see him try the other day in a game. He did start the first pitch with an attempted bunt, ended up missing and it'd be a strike, ended up flying out by the time it was said and done. But our team just doesn't bunt. And I think right now, when you have an offense that's struggling like ours, playing small ball would be a very big thing. We started the game today. We ended up with a runner on third with 2 outs, and we couldn't get him home. And he's on second with 1 out and couldn't get him home. So, that's another 0 for 2 with runners in scoring position. And those are moments where you should capitalize, especially like a team we're playing today against the White Sox. Those are moments you capitalize on if you're going to beat them. And I'm not saying that White Sox are a better team than us, but, we're struggling offensively, and we've got to find a way to pick it up. And if small ball is the way to answer it, that's what we got to do. I'd rather win a game 2-1 than lose a game 5-1. If you got to make our bullpen work some, fine. That's what they're there for. If you got to make our starting pitcher, carry a 2-0 lead or a 2-1 lead through 6 innings, fine. That's what baseball's about. It's a chess game. Baseball is just a live action chess game played with 9 players against 9 players. The managers are the directors of the field. They decide what moves need to be made and how to line people up, what positions they need to be moved to, how you adjust the infield and the outfield per batter. There's a lot of things that go into it. It's basically just a big chess game. Right now, our team is being outmaneuvered and outplayed by other teams, and they're not better teams. We honestly could have and should have taken 2-3 from St. Louis, but it was our own mistakes, not capitalizing with runners in scoring position, that are costing us. So I'm hoping Mabry can actually bring a sense of stability and maybe a little bit more aggressiveness, but calmness in the at-bats, if you know what I mean. Like, I don't want our players going up there and just swinging at any pitch because it's close to the strike zone. I would prefer them to go up there and work to get the pitch that they need to actually capitalize and do something with. That's what they need to do. There's still plenty of baseball left. I mean, we're a third of the way through the season. There's still another 2/3 left. And Tommy Lasorda was notorious for saying, baseball is a 54-game season, 3 games of 54. You're going to lose 54, you're going to win 54. It's the other 54 that determine what you do with your season. And most of the time that's true. Most teams are going to lose and win 54 games.
You've got mail.
And those are the types of things that you've got to watch out for and pay attention to, because if you can capitalize into 54 games that are going to decide your season, that's where you're going to make a difference, especially come playoff time. Excuse me. And I see a lot of people who, are jumping all over Elias now that Hyde's gone. It's funny, when Hyde was here, a lot of people were like, let's get rid of Hyde, let's get rid of Hyde, let's get rid of Hyde, let's get rid of Elias and Hyde. Hyde was always one of the people to get rid of. Now that he's gone, I actually see people starting to defend Brandon Hyde. And it's like, okay, wait a minute. First, y'all were for getting rid of him. Now you're for we shouldn't have gotten rid of him. It should be Michael Elias. But, the GM can only do so much. And I know people are going to come back at me and backlash on this and say that, he should have done more. But when you expect to have Grayson Rodriguez as probably your top pitcher, followed by Zach Eflin and Tomiyoko Sagano, why would you go out and invest more money than you had to at that moment? We also had Dean Kramer, Chase McDermott, Kate Povich, Albert Suarez, and Charlie Morton, all vying for the last technically 2 spots in the rotation. And yet I hear people saying we should have done more. Well, if you're prepared to go in, nobody goes in expecting your players to get injured. Yes, you need to have a safeguard against you, but if you have 5 starters and you have 8 people who can start, that leaves you 3 people who are possible to fill in if somebody gets injured. And no, I'm not even counting Tyler Wells and Kyle Bradish here. Elias brought in Tyler O'Neill over Anthony Santander, and right now, even though Tyler O'Neill's hurt, he still is having a better season than Santander is. Average-wise, home run-wise, no, Santander has 6. And at last I saw, he had 18 RBIs, but I knew O'Neill's not striking out as much. Granted, he's not playing right now, but you did what you could. You found a player who was willing to take the contract we were offering, because we do have other players coming up. I mean, we still have Dylan Beavers. We still have Judd Fabian, Enrique Bradfield Jr., who will probably be our center fielder next year if we don't sign Mullins. Those are 3 outfielders right there. And then you already have Colton Cowser. If whatever we do with Heston Kjerstad, which that's going to be next on our list anyway to discuss, you have outfielders. Your infield's set. I mean, it's going to be, Mountcastle or Ahern with Holiday, Henderson, and Westbrook, with Ramon Urias filling in as needed. So I'm still baffled that I'm still seeing people say that Elias should have done more. And I'm not saying Elias is completely free of any blame. What I'm saying is the way everything was set up this year, none of it was expected to happen the way it happened. And it snowballed. It turned into a giant snowball. Yes, we tried to get Kyle Gibson in here to help out because it was supposed to be a short-term thing anyway. Didn't work. Charlie Morton finally won his first game, and he actually looked good. But you can't go in and just sign people hoping that you have them available. A lot of people that are professional major leaguers and have been for quite some time are not willy-nilly going to take a minor league contract and hope somebody gets hurt. It's just not going to happen. And those are things that you've got to look at. We've got pitchers coming up. We've got pitchers coming through the system. Chase McDermott and Kate Povich are pretty much where they need to be in AAA to be up where they're at. Now, Ben McDonald was saying the other day that with Kate Povich, he still hasn't had 25 starts. He still hasn't reached 200 innings. And usually it's about the 200 inning mark where it starts to click for most pitchers. And it's true. But you can see progress and you can see strides that Kate Povich is making. Each start, he seems to be getting better. Even the start the other day, he struck out 9 batters. Lasted only 4 2/3 innings, but he still struck out 9 batters. Okay, so there's enough potential there that he's got to bring what's helping him with the strikeouts, help eliminate the walks and the hits with runners on base. That's where he's getting hurt, is he's walking a lot of batters. That's his biggest downfall right now. If he could get his battering, get the batters' walks down, he's definitely going to change a lot of things. But I do see maturity and growth in the guy. I saw somebody the other day saying his curveball is horrible. And yet, when I watched it, the curveball, it's baffling people, even the way it's coming in. I saw it land right in the middle of the plate down, but it came in from the outside, and hitters didn't know what to do with it. His fastball, yeah, he's going to hit between 92 and 94. He might be able to reach back and hit 95 here and there. But his secondary pitches are what's good. That curveball is a decent curveball. That kick change that he's developed, that's a good pitch. And I don't know if he's throwing a splitter or a two-seamer, but whatever his secondary fastball pitch is, it's nasty. And it's a good pitch to set up for strikeouts. He doesn't have to have a 98-mile-per-hour fastball. And I don't know how many people remember watching Greg Maddux pitch. Greg Maddux fastball didn't top out past 92. The guy won 4 Gold Gloves. The guy was a number 1 starter for one of the best teams in baseball for many years. So just because you don't have a fastball that hits 98, 99 doesn't make it that you're non-starter. A buddy of mine, Ivan, and me were talking yesterday, and he said he sees Cade Povich as a long man. That's quite possible. I do. It's possible. You make him a swing man, put him in the relief role. But Chase McDermott could fill that role as well. What's helping Povich is he's a lefty. So he's going to have that advantage that right-handers don't have because of where he's delivering the ball from. But he is capable of being a starting pitcher. And if we go into next year the way that it should, and I'm not discounting this year's over yet, but it's going to be a tough year the rest of the year because in order to get back even in the playoff race, we've got to play some unbelievable baseball. But with that being said, if you go next year and you have Grayson Rodriguez and Kyle Bradish as your top 2 pitchers, Dean Kramer, and then you follow it up with Chase McDermott or Albert Suarez, and you go out and you find yourself a number 1 ace, that's a pretty damn good rotation. Even without getting a number 1 ace, you can throw Tyler Wells in there. You've got the ability to bring pitchers up from the minor leagues or make pitchers capable of filling bullpen roles that are probably not are going to be available next year. Tyler Wells, I love the guy, and the guy can pitch his heart out. And before he got hurt, he was leading the league in WHIP before he got injured with a 1.01 WHIP at the time, and that was halfway through the season. He was our best starter through the first 2 months of the season. Problem is his arm injuries and the arm fatigue. He's probably suited better for the bullpen, and I can see him as a setup backup closer role with us because he has the experience, he has the pitching capability to actually fill that role. You have Cano and Wells in the back end of the bullpen or back part of your bullpen with Bautista. That's a pretty good 1-2-3 punch. So there is possibilities here, and we might, if we're lucky enough this year, come August, be able to see what our team was capable of doing. You have Colton Cowser and Jordan Westberger starting their rehab assignments. Tyler O'Neill started his rehab assignments. So in a matter of the next week or 2, we can have 3 of our biggest players back. That's going to change your whole offense. Come June, July, you're going to see Grayson Rodriguez and Kyle Bradish and Tyler Wells all in the process of getting back into the swing of game situations. Bradish is actually set to face live batters. Wells has thrown a few bullpens. I think it's 4 or 5 of them now. So there is a possibility that, and it might be too late, and it probably will be. Realistically, it probably will be. We're going to see some pretty damn good baseball come August to the rest of the season with what our team should and could have been. And does that make up for this year? No, it really doesn't. But it at least gives us hope for what's going to come the next year. And we'll see what happens at the trade deadline. The trade deadline is going to be interesting this year because if we keep Cedric Mullins or don't, is going to determine what happens at the trade deadline too. You have the ability, Ryan O'Hearn is a free agent at the end of the year, probably going to get traded. I would not be surprised if Jorge Mateo was on the trade block. I would not be surprised if Zach Eflin and Tomioka Sagano are both on the trade block. I'd love to keep both of them, but if it returns us players and prospects that are capable of contributing next year, or even a starter who somebody wants to get rid of because their contract's too absorbent and we can handle it for the next 2 years, I'll take that. I'll gladly take that. I would not be surprised if we saw Kobe Mayo traded. I really wouldn't. I mean, I honestly think he's better suited as a first baseman, but between Baseo basically going to make his major league debut this year, we might actually see him play some first base because there's a possibility we trade Ryan Mountcastle too. So there's a lot of things that are going to determine how we handle the rest of the season and what we're going to do going into next season. And come July and August, we're going to start seeing a lot of those things unfold. What it does to our team, how it affects the team, and how it alters the team, we're going to find out. Now, I was pretty pissed off last time. A little bit more calm because we actually showed some decent ball game appearances this past few games. So I got to give some credit, but we're still not there. We still have ways to go. That leads me into my next category of Heston Kjerstad. I am a huge Heston Kjerstad fan. I thought it was a great draft pick when we got him. He was the best pure hitter coming into the draft, and everybody said that he was overdrafted, that, we overslotted him and everything like that. So there's a good possibility that Heston Kjerstad's time with our team is done, unfortunately. I love the guy, but he's just not doing anything. Coming into today, he was 3 for his last 28 with 8 strikeouts. He struck out in his first at bat today. So that makes him 3 for his last 29 with 9 strikeouts. What makes this even more interesting, over his last 9 at bats, he has 5 strikeouts. So he had the opportunity to seize control and show the Orioles what he's capable of. And I still think he has the power and capability to be an everyday player. It's just not working and translating with us. And I go back to what Kyle Stowers said, and who's actually having a very strong year in Miami. Kyle Stowers, I was a huge fan of. I used to talk about him in the Baltimore Battery. He said he just needed that chance. Look what he's doing in Miami. So the talent's there. But he made fact that you have all these players playing the same position that are good ball players. And when you get to where you think you're getting and other players get there too and their name's called first, it starts messing with your head. I'm wondering if that's what's happening with Kjerstad. Kjerstad, the pressure was on Kjerstad to actually deliver this time. And he knew if he didn't, that his opportunity was probably done. And he probably went out there and pressed and tried too hard because he was swinging at pitches that I know the dude can hit. You listen to what they're saying he's doing in batting practice. He's smoking the ball. He's nailing the ball. So the guy has the ability to do all this. I really think the pressure to succeed based off him being the number 2 pick is what's hurting him. He unfortunately missed the first season he was drafted because of COVID. Then after that, he had myocarditis, which he missed 18 months of. So you're talking about almost 3 years of development this guy missed. And then he went through the minor leagues. He actually tore the minor leagues up. So you can't tell me that the guy has no capabilities. I just don't see it's going to fit in with the team anymore. And as much as I love the guy and would love to see it work out with us, I foresee him actually being traded too. Somebody's going to take a chance on the guy. He's 26, 27 years old. He's entering his prime years. The guy is pretty strong hitter when the pressure's not on. I know it's there. We've seen him crush home runs when he hits them. His defense has improved drastically. Now, he did have that one blunder in the game the other day where 95% catch rate and the ball popped out of his glove. But overall, his defense has drastically improved this year. It has improved a lot. He's made some very strong plays in the outfield. So, if anything, his defense is going for him. But he went 3 games without having an at-bat. He's in the lineup today, but he went 3 games without having an at-bat. So the writing's kind of on the wall there. And I hate to say that. We actually signed another outfielder just to help fill in the outfield because Laureano got hurt. So that's how much confidence they have in Heston Kjerstad that they went out and signed another guy. And then you had Mateo and O'Hearn actually getting outfield reps with Kjerstad on the bench. So unfortunately, the writing's on the wall there, and we might be losing Kjerstad. I really would like to see him turn things around. I really would. I think Kowser and Westberg will help that a lot, but then he's going to lose the playing time because our outfield will be Kowser, Mullins, and O'Neill unless we happen to trade Mullins. And we could trade O'Neill too. Wouldn't shock me. But we'll see. So hopefully things turn around. Hopefully we have a strong week. We're getting ready to go to the West Coast after we're done with the White Sox. So West Coast trips are always an adventure because the jet lag, the time of the games, and the weather all play a major factor in how a team performs. So this could be a trip that can make or break our season too. Like I said, there's still a lot of baseball left, so there's still possibilities, be record-setting possibilities or historical possibilities, but it's still there. And that's the great thing about baseball. There's 9 innings to every game that you have to compete. So we'll see what happens. So we're going to end things here, Birdland. A little short today, but I think we got across what we needed to get across and talk to what we got caught. I hope you all enjoyed it. Please leave comments. I need comments. I want to know what y'all think. Want to know what y'all want to know about or what you want me to discuss. Whether you agree or disagree with what I'm saying, go ahead and leave these comments. I don't mind. I like the feedback. You know, even negative feedback is feedback. It doesn't have to be all good, and I hope nobody's trashing me. I mean, I'd like to think I have some type of knowledge here, but definitely, I'd love to hear from you all. I want to know what you're all thinking, how you all are feeling about this. You know, do you think there's certain players that we're going to trade or not? Do you think that, you know, with players returning, is it going to help our team or are we going to be in the same rut that we're in right now? We're going to find out soon, but I want to know what you're thinking. Don't forget to make sure you like, share, and subscribe. If you're on TikTok, you can follow me here at SRJ Heckman. If anywhere, actually, SRJ Heckman on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, X. Find us all there. But make sure you like, follow, and subscribe. Please make sure you share. That's the only way we're going to get this broadcast channel up and we're going to get more people involved. We would love to have more aspects. We'd love to be able to do some live events with you all where you all can actually ask questions live and me answer them. So please make sure you like, share, and follow. I want to give a big shout out to Dubby, one of my partners, Dubby Energy Drink. Go to www.gg and you can get yourself your own shaker. They have many different flavors you can try. This is the Joker shaker. I like it because it's purple and green. I'm a big fan of the Joker. Go there, get a sample pack if you want. They have shaker and it comes with 6 different flavors, single serve flavors. Try it out. Basically, all you got to do is you fill 16 ounces of water, 12 to 16 ounces of water, 1 scoop, shake it up, and you go. It's your energy drink without the crash and the jitters. It's all natural. I'm a diabetic and drinking it does not affect my sugar. So those are the things that I like. It's great for a pre-workout, great for pregame, great for this, great just to have if you're thirsty. And in a tub, you get about 30 servings. 1 scoop, that's it. Get about 30 servings. If you go to w.gg and you put my name in, Stephen R. Heckman, so Stephen, the letter R, and then Heckman, Heckman, you can get 10% off your order too. So head on over to w.gg, get your W today, and make sure you get your W on. I also want to give a big shout out to the Baltimore Battery. Do not forget that without the Baltimore Battery, we would not be here. So I want to give a big shout out to them because they've given me the opportunity not only to write for them as their head writer, but also be able to put on this podcast. So big shout out to the Baltimore Battery. Don't forget to check out the BaltimoreBattery.com and look at all your favorite writers and all the different things we have between Zach Bucklow, Justin Supton, Matt Farr, RJ Delberto, Nick, me, and Jared. You got plenty of people to follow, plenty of people to look at, and plenty of articles to read. We do try to get something out nearly every single day to keep you all involved and let you all know what's going on. The Baltimore Battery, from fans to fans. And we love your feedback. You can find the Baltimore Battery on social media at TikTok and Twitter with the tag at the Be More Battery. And last but not least, want to give a big shout out to Scooters for Rent, who is changing their name from Scooters for Rent to Advanced Mobility Solutions. Excuse me. But without them, I would not be here with the lights on, having fun talking to you. They're one of our biggest sponsors. So don't forget, if you're in the Maryland, Delaware area and you need mobility equipment that stems from mobility scooters, manual wheelchairs, beach wheelchairs, or electric wheelchairs, and lift recliners, give them a call. Tell them Stephen from the Final Strike sent you. And until next time, Birdland, please keep that beer cold. Have a good one, and peace out. Talk to you next time.